evening and welcome to the Take the Next Steps session we have tonight for admitted students. I see we have quite a few of you joining on, so I'm going to give it just another moment or two while everyone gets logged into the webinar and settled in. My name's Devin Thompson. I am with the Visitor Services team here at the College of Charleston, and on behalf of my colleagues who are also joining me tonight, we just can't congratulate you enough. We are thrilled that you're going to be joining the CofC family next fall. And hopefully tonight will be really informative and cover a lot of the questions that you and your family may have about these next steps towards your enrollment at CofC. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get into the presentation. Obviously, you're all muted this evening, but you are not muted from asking questions. So please make sure that you use the Q&A portion down in the bottom of your screen to submit any questions that you have. We will take questions from the chat at the end of the presentation. And we also have several admissions counselors monitoring the Q&A throughout the evening. So we're definitely here for you, and we will be tending to all of your questions, comments, and concerns as we move through the night. But with that, I am pleased to introduce you all to our Dean of Undergraduate Admissions, Kayla Granville. Kayla?
Thank you, Devin. Just wanted to say a quick congratulations to all of you for just making this class and this opportunity in our admission cycle so much fun. We've been enjoying connecting with each of you and your families. And again, we are celebrating your admission tonight. The university, the College of Charleston, is an amazing place and certainly an innovation hub for research, for career opportunities, for internships, and also for making those really meaningful student-centered engagements, not only with your peers, but also with faculty and staff. Of course, we are located in the dynamic downtown Charleston, South Carolina, which certainly offers lots of different opportunities in the area, as well as opportunities to meet persons from all over the world. This definitely is an international hub as well, and a growing opportunity for families that are seeking to move out of the cold or coming from the Midwest as well, which is what was my case as well. And so again, we're excited that you're here. We're excited that you've been admitted to the College of Charleston, and we're even more excited to continue to support your collegiate goals. And on that note, I will turn it back over to Devin. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. All right, well, let's begin. We have one of our fabulous admissions counselors with us tonight, Rebecca Drury, hailing from the Virginia area. So if we have any of you on the call from Rebecca's territory, her name is probably quite familiar to you. But Rebecca is a veteran. She is a veteran of the admissions office. She's alumna of the college and is just super passionate about all things CofC admissions. So she is going to lead you all through the next steps tonight. Rebecca?
Awesome. Thanks, Devin, and good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Rebecca Drury. I am an Associate Director of Regional Admissions here at the College of Charleston, graduated in the class of 2015. And let me just tell you, time flies, so enjoy the remainder of your senior year. But to also get excited for these next steps at the College of Charleston. Everything that we're going to go through tonight is stuff that you might have seen already, but also might help you continue to take those next steps to ultimately become a Cougar. So to dive right in, we're going to start off with your My Charleston portal. Your My Charleston account is your hub for the next 4 years. Like I said, was a student. I still work here now and literally log into My Charleston each and every day. So definitely get used to your My Charleston account. And you received your My Charleston credentials in your acceptance letters and can find all of that pretty easily. Or you can even go onto the My Charleston website. There will be a new or a little tab there in the middle that says for newly admitted students, and it'll tell you how to log in. And so that is how you'll log in, and we'll talk a little bit later that you'll eventually get your permanent credentials for your My Charleston after you pay your deposit. But just keep in mind that your My Charleston is your hub for the next 4 years. The first and maybe not foremost, but something that might be on the top of y'all's minds, especially since those financial aid packages came out. Let's see, my days are running together. It was either yesterday or Tuesday. But these are the tuition and fees for, keep in mind, the 2021 to 2022 school year. So your tuition and fees may look a little different in that financial aid package, but this is a pretty good rundown and very similar. You'll see that there are asterisks beside a few of these. Those are going to mean that those costs are a little different, and you may not be paying them directly to the college. But for example, tuition and fees, of course, those are going to the college. Room and board will go to the college as well, but that asterisk is there simply because our residence halls are on a tier system, meaning that some are a little bit more expensive than others, some are a little bit less expensive, and same with those meal plans. So be sure to take a look at those websites for housing and dining and see why it might be best for you and your family. But then these books and supplies, transportation and personal expenses, those are those indirect costs that you just may encounter during your time at the College of Charleston. For example, this transportation cost. That is it to just help you understand, maybe if you are from California joining us tonight, thinking about getting back and forth from home for fall break, the winter break, all those different things do kind of factor into your college education. And so, however, those aren't directly paid to the College of Charleston. If you do have any questions about financial aid or anything, then definitely feel free to give the financial aid office a call. And it might be that we and the Office of Admissions can kind of help answer some of those more basic questions as well. But with that too, for those who were accepted, you might have received a merit-based scholarship. If you did receive a merit-based scholarship, though, it would have been in your acceptance letter. Being a state public institution, we are unfortunately not able to give everyone a merit scholarship as much as we would like to, and we don't have as much money as we would like to give either. But should you have received a merit scholarship, it would have been in your acceptance letter, and you would see it represented on your financial aid full package too. But know too that throughout your 4 years at the College of Charleston, there are opportunities to apply for other departmental scholarships and alumni scholarships, maybe a specialty scholarship. So just because you've gotten into college, don't think that it's a time to stop applying for scholarships, because those are always going to be out there and available for you to apply for during your time at the College of Charleston as well. And that's one of my biggest regrets as a student is I was like, oh, I'm a sophomore. I've gotten all the money I can get. Little did I know that there were scholarships through my major, through the alumni office, and even still those outside scholarships that you can apply for. Then there are those federal and state aid awards, whether it be direct loans, work study, grants. For our South Carolina residents out there, you have the South Carolina Education Lottery and Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellows. And so be sure to talk with, especially those South Carolina residents, talk with your high school counselors to make sure you're on track to receive either one of those three scholarships from the South Carolina Education Lottery. And then always look outside for those scholarships. It's kind of peak time that outside resources are posting scholarships. My parents always told me if you don't apply for scholarships, you're definitely not going to get them. So whether it's through Kiwanis clubs, Lions clubs, local churches or banks, synagogues, that money is out there and people want to give you that money. I remember I applied for a Daughters of the American Revolutionary scholarship when I was a senior in high school and got $500 from them. And you best believe that paid for my books for a year. And so the money's out there. You just have to go and find it and apply for it. So now let's say you are ready to submit your deposit. If you haven't done so already, then like I said, going back to that My Charleston account, you will log into your My Charleston account with those credentials, and then you will go to the My Accounts tab. About on the bottom left hand, midway down, left hand side, you will see the e-bill account. Click that e-bill account. It'll take you to one more place to open it up fully. And then you will hit pay my deposit. It's going to be pay my deposit instead of make a payment. A keyword you're looking for to make a deposit. You then will pay that $400 non-refundable enrollment deposit, and that confirms your spot at the College of Charleston. I see out of the corner of my eye when the enrollment deposit fee is due, and students have until May 1st to declare to secure their spot on campus. But do remember, and I'll mention this a little bit later too, if you want to live on campus, you have to have your non-refundable $400 deposit in, and your housing deposit and your housing application in by May 1st. And so what that means is if you know College of Charleston's the place for you, I highly recommend at least paying a few days before May 1st so that you can get access to the housing and dining portal in order to be able to apply for housing again by May 1st. So kind of going back to that, I skipped the gun a little bit. Applying for housing though, once you have paid your enrollment deposit, you can then apply for housing. One thing that we do not allow is for students to apply for housing without having paid that enrollment deposit. So you have to pay that $400 before you can apply for housing. You will then pay a $50 housing application fee once you get access to that portal. For those who have already paid, that portal is open and running. You can see here it opened on February 1st. And May 1st is going to be that deadline for those main changes and guaranteed housing. How housing works at the College of Charleston though is by kind of groups or with a roommate group. But even if you don't have a roommate group, totally fine. You will be able to choose your spot on campus. But every student has until May 15th to pick a roommate or create a roommate group or switch it. So just because you submit those deposits and fill out the housing application by May 1st, doesn't mean you can't go in and add roommates or suite mates or something as well. But then around July 1st, you will be able to know where you're living and kind of start preparing on what to bring with you to campus in August. We do have 4K 360-degree videos on YouTube of all of our residence halls. So definitely feel free to go and check those out. And all of them are on there. I think that's definitely one nice thing that the pandemic brought was us being able to go into these empty rooms and be able to do these really amazing videos where you can see just about every nook and cranny. So let's say you've already committed to College of Charleston, you've paid that deposit, you've applied for housing, and now you're coming up on graduating. You've graduated, you've crossed that stage for high school. Just know that we do need that final high school transcript, right? It's just because you've been admitted to college doesn't mean that senioritis should kick in and it's time to get ready for college immediately. Continue to work hard in the classroom because we do look at those final transcripts. But just be sure that you're working with your high schools to have those final transcripts sent to us. We then have the credit evaluation process for any of you who might have taken AP classes, IB classes, dual enrollment. You want to make sure that you send all of the appropriate documents for that. For example, AP and IB test scores must come directly from College Board or IB. And we no longer will take we don't take unofficial scores in order to award you credit for those. And then kind of the same thing for dual enrollment. You will need to have the college that those dual enrollment credits were through send us a transcript because you definitely want to make sure you get credit for all the hard work that you did on those AP, IB, and dual enrollment credits. You'll then be able, though, to review how they all transferred within your My Charleston account, like I mentioned, where you'll have all your time spent. And you'll be able to do so in academic services in the degree works. And that will hopefully be available late July. I know for some of those of you who are taking those AP and IB tests, those test scores oftentimes don't come back until mid-July or so. So give it time, but definitely by the start of the semester, you'll be able to go in and see how all of those credits were awarded. For AP and IB classes, though, you can go onto our website and see a full list of the classes, the score you needed, and what it counts towards. So feel free to do that as well. The Honors College, for those of you who have been accepted into the Honors College, another congratulations there. All Honors College first round admissions have been sent out. If you are on the wait list, just know that they are still periodically releasing students from the wait list for the Honors College. So keep an eye on those emails. Emails are always great to have on your phone, and just keep an eye on those emails for those who might be on the wait list for the Honors College. Orientation will be your next step. Once you've paid that deposit, you've applied for housing and everything, then orientation is going to be next. Orientation registration actually opened, rumors were yesterday, but definitely today. For those of you who have already deposited, feel free to go ahead and select your orientation date. We will be on campus in person this summer, which we're really excited about. And then we also will have optional limited spaces for students to stay on campus. I did this at my orientation 11 years ago, and it was super fun. So if that's something you think you'd be interested in, then definitely be sure to register for it, because again, they are limited spaces. But then you can also use the checklist on orientation's website to make sure you get all the forms and important information taken care of and submitted before you attend orientation. Just know that there are multiple orientation dates throughout the summer, and I will go ahead and debunk a myth. The first orientation session does not mean you're going to get all the best classes. How our orientation works, and I can say this from experience because I was an orientation intern during my time at the college, but orientation works for us in regards to classes that whether or not you come to that first orientation or the last, every student is going to have the same chance of getting into, let's say, English 110 at 10 a.m., no matter what orientation session you attend. So again, just because you come to the first orientation, it does not mean you're going to get the best classes. I guarantee you every single one of you is going to have an 8 a.m. at some point. So it's okay. We made it through. 8 a.m.s aren't as bad as you might think. So that is a little bit on orientation. And then, of course, we would love to have y'all continue to come down and visit the college, whether it's for an accepted student event that you do have to register for. And I believe, if Devin will give me a head nod, that the 19th of March is full. So we are full for that event, but hopefully some of y'all have gotten the chance to sign up for that or already have visited campus. So definitely come and see us. We do have accepted student tours every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. as well. Definitely just go and check our events calendar. It is posted online, but know too that we have a whole virtual visitor center. We have a few more virtual showcases, our school showcases coming up over the next couple of days. So definitely be sure to go and check those out as well. And then we also, though, have some pre-college programs for our students to be able to participate in. The first one I'll mention is our Spectre program, which stands for Speedy I always struggle with this word, Consolidation and Transition Program. This program is for African Americans, Latinx, Hispanic communities, Asians, Native and Indigenous American high school students who have been admitted to the College of Charleston. It is also for first generation students as well. But this is a program where you get to enroll during our summer too. And you're taking about two different classes during the summertime with our professors and the other members of the Spectre program, and are receiving course credit for those two classes. So it's a really great way to get integrated into our campus before classes even start in August. And if you are interested in this program and you're already an enrolled student, then you can go to msps.cfc.edu to sign up. The other one is Cougar Excursion. Cougar Excursion is a 3-day interactive program specifically designed to increase new students' campus knowledge, create that sense of community, but also have some really great leadership experience. It costs about $250, which will cover your meals, housing, activity fees, and transportation for the program, because it is out at Camp St. Chris, located on the beach. One of their big traditions is that the last night they do a shaving cream fight on the beach, which is pretty fun, if you ask me. So a really great opportunity to just come together as a cohort and as a class to get to know each other and the campus before classes start that Tuesday in August. The applications for Cougar Excursion can be found on the Higdon Leadership Center's website at go.cfc.edu / Cougar Excursion. So what's next? If you do have any questions after this, get in touch with us. We have our main inbox at admissions@cfc.edu. You can give us a call. Definitely check the website. A lot of the things that I've mentioned tonight or that you have questions on can be found on the website. Look us up on social media and everything. And just know that we are here to help you throughout these next steps and throughout the process. And we can't wait to see a lot of you hopefully on campus in the fall. With that, though, I will pass it on back to Devin.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was great information for everyone. Just a reminder, we will take a few more minutes and give you all some time to drop some questions in the chat. Thanks to those who have been asking some really great questions so far. I'm just going to do a quick scan to see if we've been getting any kind of consistent questions. Just to piggyback off of what Rebecca was talking about in terms of our admitted student opportunities, both virtual and on campus. A few reminders, we have a lot of yield events coming up. Those are both for out-of-state and in-state students. So you've probably received an invitation. In fact, we have one like for the DC area this weekend. Rebecca will be there as well as Christina. They're all over the place. So check your inbox. Those invitations have dropped recently, and we'd love to see you in your hometown, in your own backyard. But obviously, we know you want to get to campus as well. So while the March 19th ASD date, Admitted Student Day date is full, we still have an alternative option, several alternative options actually, called Build Your Own Campus Tours. Those are expanded visit day opportunities. And we have 3 of those back to back in April that still have plenty of registration availability. So that would be April 1st, April 8th, and April 15th. Those dates are all available on our website, similarly to where you would have found registration opportunities for Admitted Student Day. So if you're interested in those, check those dates out and you can register there. But of course, if you have any trouble, just reach out to our office and we can register you online as well. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Q&A now. I see some folks have been typing in some questions, and we can hold off on independent answers right now for my moderators. I might have you chime in with your cameras off. You can still answer questions out loud. But let's just go over orientation. I see Chelsea has started this one, but I think it's a great question. Are parents required to go to orientation? Anyone can jump in.
I'll take it since I'm unmuted already, but parents are not required to go to orientation. However, I strongly recommend it. Again, I'm a little biased because I worked in orientation, but it is an amazing parent family orientation that we also do while your student is going through the student orientation. I had an older brother, and my parents came to my orientation and said that it was way better than where my brother went to school in their orientation. So highly recommend it, but it is not required for you.
Thank you, Rebecca. There's a question in here about Tennessee students and who their admissions counselor is. I see Christina is answering that, but as always, if you need to get in touch with our office, please feel free to email any of our admissions counselors. Okay, our next question, I see Chelsea's answering it, but I think this is good for the good of the whole. Rebecca, maybe you want to take it. Are freshmen required to live on campus?
Yeah, great question. And freshmen are not required to live on campus. About 90 to 92% of our students will live on campus their first year, though. I think it's a great opportunity for students to get to know other incoming freshmen, get to know what's happening on and off campus, and really just have that experience of living in a residence hall. I lived in Barry Residence Hall my freshman year when it was all female. It now houses our honors college and just other students on the top 3 floors. But definitely go and check out those residence halls through YouTube. And I say live on campus freshman year.
Couldn't agree with you more. All right, let's talk about meal plans. What meal plan options are there for students on campus? Obviously, there are a lot to choose from. I don't think we necessarily recommend just one, but Rebecca, if you could, again, just kind of touch on the requirements as that relates to meal plan.
Yeah, so for students who actually do live on campus your freshman year, you are required to have a meal plan. Me, myself, and I had a meal plan all 4 years because I am not a good cook. So I said, I'm going to have a meal plan all 4 years. But your freshman year, there are 3 different options, but for our meal plans. There are 2 that we consider our all access meal plan, which y'all, I'm extremely jealous that this is even an option now. I'm sure Devin can say the same thing because it was not an option when we were students. But this all access meal plan allows you to go into the dining hall every 30 minutes. So if you are ready for, let's just say you need your cup of coffee before that 8 a.m. that I mentioned, then you can go in, get your cup of coffee, go to class. And then if you're ready for that full breakfast after, then you can swipe back in with that all access meal plan. The difference between the 2 all access meal plans are going to be the amount of dining dollars you get. Those dining dollars can be used at Chick-fil-A, Einstein's, the different pods that we have throughout campus. And so it just varies on the different dining dollars. Then the last one is going to be 12 meals a week. Maybe you do enjoy cooking for yourself and want to utilize one of the full kitchens on your floor in one of your residence halls, or maybe you just aren't as big of an eater. Then maybe that 12 meals a week with a good amount of dining dollars will be a good option for you. But when you fill out that housing and dining application, it will show you all of them there too.
You are very well versed in those dining options. Good work. Okay, so we had a question about orientation. Just a reminder, there are tons of orientation options. So we're not going to list off all the dates right now, but they kick off in June and go until early August. And if you go to the college's orientation website, you'll find all the dates listed there. I doubt any of them have filled up over the last couple hours, but I would check it very soon. And that way you can see what dates are still open. I'm sure they're almost all still open at this point. But if you have a summer vacation or a trip planned and you have a specific time frame that you're looking at, I would go on and register tonight for sure for orientation. Okay, Rebecca, here's a question. You may or may not be able to answer. And if not, we can always get back to this student separately. But are emotional support animals allowed in the residence halls on campus?
I'm like 90, I'm going to go with 90% yes, but where I'm going to direct you is our center for our disability services office. They will need the paperwork and everything to approve that. So while I'm not 100% sure, our Center for Disability Services will be able to help you and direct you in the right place.
Excellent question. Let's see, our next question is in regards to parking on campus. Can you give our guests just a quick overview of what that looks like for our students in terms of parking?
How quick do you want it? Because really quick, just don't do it. Parking, y'all, on campus is very few and far between. We are in a city. Freshmen are not allowed to have cars. In fact, you can't have a car on campus until you have about 60 credit hours, which is around junior year status. I kid you not, y'all, you can walk everywhere in Charleston. We do have a local bus system that can take you all across downtown into Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, Somerville, West Ashley, James Island, and you get it for free with your Cougar card.
Save gas money and the environment all at once.
Amen.
Just another quick reminder, orientation is a requirement to attend. This year it is all in person. Last year we had kind of like some hybrid options going on still with just the way things were in the world with COVID, but we are excited to have everyone back on campus for mandatory orientation. And honestly, it's just such a great way to kind of get that last final sneak peek of what life's going to be like before you officially move in the fall. So hopefully you all will see it as great of a thing as we do.
For sure.
Good question though. All right, we have a few more rolling in here. I know our moderators are working hard to type some in the chat, but let's see, we'll take just a few more before we wrap up for the evening. This question is in regards to Spectra and Cougar Excursion. Are those available by registration only? And this would be coming from a student who is already deposited.
Yeah, so Spectre and Cougar Excursion, you do apply, but it's more so of a registration. And that application is just making sure that you fit all the requirements. And by requirements, I mean for Spectra and everything. So it's and there are limited spaces for these programs. So if you know it's something you're interested in doing, then definitely keep it in the back of your mind to go ahead and get registered and fill out the paperwork for it.
Excellent. Rebecca, can you also touch on transfer student orientation?
Yeah, so and I think I saw somewhere too that I didn't necessarily mention earlier, but we do for those transfers out there and maybe for those who took dual enrollment classes, we have an amazing transfer resource center. I've never really seen one else at another institution, but within that transfer resource center is this really great database called Transferology. Transferology allows you to plug in all your classes at the other institution where those classes are coming from and see how they will transfer to the College of Charleston. So you can go ahead and get a head start on seeing how they will how they'll transfer. We then have transfer orientations throughout the summer as well. And just be sure to keep on your emails and sign up for those orientations because it is required for transfer students as well.
Awesome. There have been a couple more questions roll in about parking on campus. And just to reiterate what Rebecca said, you can't have your car on campus until you have junior hour status. But there are private lots that are not owned by the college in the city. So we will not keep you from pursuing those options, but that's an independent choice to make. But again, if you live off campus, the CARTA system that you can access for free as a student, you can still use that even if you're not living on campus. You are a student. So hopefully that will take some of that stress out of the commute if you end up having to pursue that option or choose to pursue that option to live off campus. You can still use CARTA, the trolley system, with your student ID for free. So don't discount that either. But there are private lots in the city, different private parking garages. If you absolutely feel like you need to have a car, you can pursue those options for sure. All right, just a couple more questions. I'm gonna just scan these quickly. The Honors College application has closed, correct, Rebecca? They're not taking any rolling applications at this point?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And students who are on the wait list, did you have a reminder of if there was an official date for those release, or is it a rolling wait list release for Honors College?
For honors, it is a rolling wait list for those on the wait. I just said that, on the wait list.
Perfect, no problem. Okay, we're going to take just a couple more questions. Let's see. When can students study abroad at CofC?
So students can study abroad at the College of Charleston after your freshman year. So if that means that you want to go on a Maymester after your freshman year, then you can do that. Most of our students will study abroad during their junior year, but you can go anytime after your freshman year.
Perfect. Thank you. And we are thrilled to be rolling those study abroad opportunities back out to our students. We had some students study abroad this semester, and obviously we have lots of opportunities coming up this fall. And as things kind of slowly return to a more normalcy, we are just thrilled to be able to get our students back out there. So I'm glad you all are already thinking about study abroad. Just quickly, sorority and fraternity life on campus, Rebecca. I know that's a very general question, but can you give like a very brief outlook of what students can expect for going through that recruitment process?
Yes, we do have sororities and fraternities on campus. We also see the recruitment go through, our students go through the recruitment process during normally your freshman year, but you can join a sorority or fraternity or Greek life throughout your time at the college. Only about 20% of our students will participate in Greek life. And so I like to say we're not a go Greek or go home school. It's there if you want to do it. If not, then there's tons of other things to be involved in on campus and in the community as well. Dates have not been posted quite yet for sorority recruitment or fraternity recruitment, but just keep an eye on their website. For it does tend to take place either the week before classes start or right at the very beginning of the semester.
Thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca, and it's okay if you can't answer this in great detail. We'll preface this question with just a reminder to everyone, again, about the virtual event opportunities that we also continue to have this semester. And one of those is going to be a virtual town hall for admitted students and parents and families on April the 12th. So I know that's another month away, but that'll be another great opportunity to ask questions live like this to several panelists from our executive leadership board. And one of those panelists will be financial aid. So they'll go over work study opportunities, additional aid, grant opportunities, things like that, and questions you may have. So, but the short question after my long preface is, we had a question about work study. So is that something that College of Charleston offers?
We do offer work study opportunities, and I see Chelsea might have been typing too, but we do offer those work study opportunities. It is technically through your FAFSA. So you want to make sure that you have submitted the FAFSA and work with our financial aid office to receive a work study. Our career center can then help you with finding a job on campus to secure that work study opportunity.
Perfect. And the last question that we are going to take tonight as we approach time is, what is the first move-in date? Has that been posted yet?
2 seconds, please, and I shall tell you. I need to look at a calendar.
Well, while Rebecca's looking that up, just a quick heads up, we do tend to stagger our move-in dates over one weekend so that it's not complete chaos. Obviously, Charleston's not a huge city and we have small streets. So we do try to stagger people, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So while it is all kind of on one weekend, your day may differ depending on your residence hall that you select. So Rebecca may have that date now for us.
It's always around the same time. And I'm just looking at a calendar, but it should be August 19th.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Rebecca. I just can't thank you all enough for taking the time to attend this event tonight. I hope it's been helpful. I'm so thrilled that you, a lot of you took time to ask questions. It's always nice to hear what you all are still thinking about, still considering, and what's on the top of your mind as we get closer to, that May 1 deposit deadline. So if you think of anything after we conclude tonight, I'm going to quickly drop an email into the chat. Not the Q&A, but the chat. And it is our events inbox email. So if you have any questions that we aren't able to cover tonight, please send those there and we will get back to you as soon as possible. And again, please, you'll be receiving that invitation for the town hall on April 12th, but go on and mark it on your calendars, April 12th at 7 p.m. That'll be another great opportunity to ask any questions that you may have that we didn't cover tonight or that you still need a little clarification on. But with that, thank you all again. Congratulations again. We can't wait to see you this summer for orientation and definitely on campus this fall as new students. So take care and have a good evening.